everybody. It's so good to be with you guys again. I've missed you so much. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am Robyn Robbins, founder and CEO of Robyn Robbins Enterprises, where I faithfully, humbly, and excitedly serve as an author, certified life coach, speaker, and advocate. Today, we are going to be talking about the power of releasing toxins, right? So, if you're interested in more about what we're going to be talking about today, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, the more that I grow and the more that I matriculate and the more that I learn from my mistakes and just from everyday life, I've recognized that no matter what stage you get to in life, wherever you go, you get to a point where you're saying, I need to detox. You get to that place where you're like, I need to just make sure that I stay on this path that I'm on now. And it just gets to a point where you're like, let's press pause for a moment and make sure that I don't have anything toxic going on, I always say this, it could be a very, very hard thing to admit where, you can be challenged, or admit where an area where you're weak in or not as strong, or to admit that, you're in a funk or whatever the case may be. When it comes to humanity, it's a very, very hard thing to do because, society says, be strong, you're strong. And, they paint a false picture of what strength really is. And so first, let me just say, I admonish, not even, excuse me, wrong word. Let me just say that I salute you. Okay. I take my hat off to you for even watching this video, for even saying to yourself, hey, I want to check in. Let me hear what she's talking about. Let me hear what she has to say. Maybe it could be helpful to me and for me. You know what I mean? So it's a hard thing to do, but the fact that you have the strength to do that because you want to be the very best that you can be and you want to live your life at the very, in the very best way that you can, kudos to you. Kudos to you for not allowing our culture and society to define your growth, how you grow, when you grow, and if you should grow at all, right? So thank you for joining me. Here is releasing toxins, right? Releasing all things toxic. We get to those places in our lives where we notice it's kind of like a natural nudge that happens. And we notice, we're like, okay, this is not what it used to be, or this is not as good, or this no longer serves me where I'm at. It's like you could feel it. It's a feeling that you have when you recognize like, that friendship was cool when I was in that phase of my life, but it doesn't really serve where I'm going. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, that's nature's natural way of just letting us know. That's the universe way of letting us know that it's time to reflect, assess, and evaluate some things. So how do we release all things toxic? It's, of course, going to be easier said than done, depending on the attachment level of the person, place, or thing. But it can be done if you are consistently pursuing the best version of yourself. And you've made up in your mind that you're not going to let anybody or anything stop you from being the best you and getting to where you want to go. I personally, that's where I'm at right now. That's how I feel. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be attached to anything that's going to distract me or stifle me or stop me from going where I want to go. So I have this regimen thing that I do, almost like a routine checkup, if you will. And simply what I do is I evaluate and assess my life in 5 different areas. I evaluate and assess financially, physically, intellectually, relationally, and spiritually. And what I do is I am very integral and honest with myself. I give myself the harsh truth. And what helps to kind of map this out and make it easy is by writing those 5 areas out and asking yourself this first question. Am I where I want to be in this area? And if not, why am I not where I want to be? And that's where the change comes in at. That's where it's kind of like born at, if that makes any sense. Because let's say, for instance, financially, I wrote down, I'm not exactly where I thought I would be by this time. And then I asked myself, well, why am I not there? And that honest answer may be, I have horrible spending habits, or I'm not really budgeting or sticking to my budget the way I should. Or maybe it's I'm afraid to charge what I should be charging for my products and or services. Whatever your truth is, it's your truth, and don't be ashamed of it. By understanding and recognizing that truth, that's when change can settle in, right? So you do this for each of those 5 areas. And once you have asked yourself, are you where you want to be? If not, why? Then the second part is simply putting some type of goal and or plan of action into play to help you be intentional about turning that outcome around. So for instance, let's talk about the finances again. If it's you, if your answer was hypothetically, I am not sticking to my budget, or I'm not sticking to, or I'm not saving money the way I need to. Maybe your goal will then be to make sure that you save a certain amount of money per month. And maybe the way you do that is by setting it up with your bank where it's an automatic deposit that's taken out of your checking and deposited in your savings every month, to make sure that going forward, it's not something you necessarily have to do. It's now automated for you. And that way you've just flipped and turned around that goal. Isn't that cool? Right? Something as simple as that. Sometimes it's the things that are so little and so simple that can help us, when done consistently, see dramatic change in an area of our life. Okay, let's say that it's a relational thing. And you're saying, relationally, am I where I want to be? Do I have the friends that I want? Do I have the relationship that I want? And the answer may be, yeah, I kind of have the romantic relationship I want, but it sucks on the friend end. Okay, well, ask yourself a few questions. What do you guys do when you are together? What are your conversations like? Where do you guys hang out at? You know, asking yourself those questions will kind of help you see why and or where there's a disconnect in the friendship, and it'll help you fix it. So it may just simply be that that relationship no longer serves you where you're at now, and it's now considered toxic, and you have to sever that relationship and get rid of that relationship because it's now considered toxic. And it's really just time for you to upgrade and be around people who are going where you're going, or who, you know, aspire to be where you aspire to be. And so, yeah, that's all for today. Releasing all things toxic. Simple 2 steps that I do, like reoccurringly, like every few months, I check in with myself in those areas to just make sure that I'm staying intentional and that I'm staying on the right path as to where I want to be in my life. Now, before I go, I want you guys to meet somebody. Come here, Kilo. Come here, Pumpkin. This is what you guys hear in the background. It's one of my doggies. I love animals. Like, and she needs to be groomed, so don't judge her. Okay? Kilo, say hi. Hi. Oh, yo. She's so cute. I have a lot of babies that you guys have to meet. I have 4. I know I have 4. Excuse my nails, they're horrible. But I have 4. I have 4 babies. And I want you guys to meet them. So this is Kilo. This is my pumpkin. Say bye, Lolo. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, you all, for tuning in. I appreciate it. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. When you subscribe, remember to press that button so you know when I upload. Look for videos every Monday. Again, if you are looking for a community and a place where you can receive transformational empowerment to better yourself and to live the best version of yourself, then I welcome you here. This is a judgment-free zone. We're just looking to be better, right? So thank you so much for joining me on my journey, and I'll see you all soon.